Right, today you're going to model. So you should have a range of ideas and you should have attempted to put texture on at least one of them and some colour. But we're going to model today how we're going to join these parts together. We're particularly interested in the corner pieces here and here and here and here. That's where we're going to put a finger joint. So today we're going to make a model and you're going to need to find either some cardboard from a thin corrugated box or possibly some card from a cereal packet. Ideally, the card from a thin cardboard box would be better, but you know, cardboard from a cereal packet will work. You're also going to need a ruler, you're going to need a pair of scissors, and you're going to need a pencil. And that's it for today. Now, we make models because we need to test things quite quickly. It's often a lot quicker to make something from cardboard or to make something out of paper in order to be able to test things. Now, many of you will know that I make models with trains. So I often make little card templates which I can check the sizes of. So you can see that I can check the sizes of the back and the cab sides like that. And I then draw them out exactly like I might on a piece of material. And then I put them onto the actual locomotive before I cut them out. So here, the bits of card that I've cut have really only been about 10 minutes work. And that allows me to actually check that the sizes are right and they fit my plans before I go and cut them out of brass sheet or tin sheet. And that takes a lot longer to do it. Now, your card model, I'm going to use a piece of cardboard like this. Ideally, you want your cardboard to be at least 5 centimetres wide. So my cardboard is over 5 centimetres wide, but if it's exactly 5, that would help. To make it exactly 5, you just measure a little bit like that. And you can mark that off and you can then cut yourself a strip. I've got one straight edge already and it should then be relatively easy to cut that cardboard with a pair of scissors so that you get a nice straight strip. Now, I'm going to make a very simple model, so I'm going to make my blue textured model here, and I'm going to need a base section that I want to be about that long. I'm going to make an end section that I want to be about that long, and I'm going to make a little short section that I want to be about that long, so that you can see very quickly I can actually model my shape a little bit like that, and it will look like that. What I'm going to do then is show you how to make 2 different joints in order to join yours together. The first joint we're going to do is something called a finger joint, which literally looks like fingers and interlocks. You'll need a ruler and you'll need to start with by measuring every centimetre on your piece of cardboard. And you do that on both sides. So you can see that I'm measuring every centimetre and marking off. I then put the 2 bits together and I draw a line and a line about a centimetre away from the edge. I'm then going to, a bit like hopscotch, I'm going to mark in the bits that I'm going to cut out. So I'm going to do a zigzag pattern. 1, 2, 3, 5, like that. Now, you're going to cut them out with a pair of scissors. So you literally cut a pair of scissors and you can cut those out. Because it's cardboard, you can get your scissors in there and you can physically cut that and just pull that out. And you can see you then make some fingers. And then if you cut the other side, you can do exactly the same. So you can see there, those 2 bits will then fit together and they will stay together a little bit like that. Now mine's got a circle on the top. So I could find a jam jar or I could find something circular to draw around. I could use, that's not big enough. I could use anything really to draw around. I haven't got anything to hand, but you could draw around that and draw your circle on there. And then again, you can actually physically cut your circle on there. So there's my basic shape. That's my basic L shape. So that joint's quite easy to do, and that joint there is called a finger joint. The other type of joint you're going to need is a bit like a finger joint, but instead of having 3 fingers, 5 fingers, it's only going to have 3. To do that, you mark it out slightly differently. You'll need your piece of card, and you'll need to mark initially where your cardboard sits. So you need to mark each side of the cardboard. So I'm literally just marking the thickness of the cardboard. So you can see that's only a little bit over the thickness of the cardboard. I then put the 2 bits together like that, and I use my ruler again, and I measure in 1.5 centimetres and 1.5 centimetres. And I measure that and I mark that on both pieces. I then mark in the bits I'm going to cut out. So on the bottom piece, I can't cut the middle out very easily, so I'm going to cut the 2 sides out. And on the piece that attaches, I can cut that middle bit out very, very easily. And then I cut it with scissors. This piece is easy. You cut it like this joint. You cut down, and you cut across. That bit's the easy bit. That bit will then fit on there. This bit is a little bit more difficult. You cut each side like that, but you can't really get your scissors in there. So you cut each side, careful not to cut all the way across, and then the bit in the middle, you just pull through, grip it with thumb and first finger, and twist. And that will just let them pull out. So you pull it through like that, grip it with thumb and finger, and pull it through. And then you can make your model up. And you can see that I've now made a model exactly like my example there. You could improve it at that point by putting a little foot on the end of here. So I could cut a little foot, which I've dropped. So I'll cut another one. And I could then mark out another joint, exactly like we've just done, marking each side, measuring 15 mil and 15 mil. And then again, I can cut that out. So I could put a little foot on the end to make the contents of my rack actually flow backwards. And I could develop my design further, and I could really have a bit of a play with it and improve it further. So there's my improved model. I could put a letter on here, or I could put a hole or some sort of decoration in there. I could put another shelf by cutting a joint like that and putting a shelf on there. I could put the shelf on the back. Possibilities are endless. So have a go and see if you can make a basic model, and then see if you can improve it, and take a photograph of each one, and then you can mount your photograph on your picture of your work.